Hello and welcome, this is TV1 back in another video. This time it is Red Dwarf series, and yes, I've gone straight over to series 4, and I've just decided to do some of my favourite episodes. So this one is going to be my first. I'm just going to do some, episodes that, not necessarily my favourites, but some that I just want to do a review on. Just a bit of diversity in this series of Red Dwarf. I know I did all series 1, which that was cool. I'm going to do a new format for this one, which I'm just going to talk about some of the episodes, like some of my favourite moments from the episodes, and what I think of them from the time being, and rewatching them, see what I think of them the second time around as well. So this episode aired on 14th of February 1991, and was the first episode in season 4. For an opener, it was what I could say was a pretty strong episode. I mean, it was an unusual opener. I mean, it wasn't like epic or anything. It had a lot of laughs in it, but I have a few cons with the episode I need to get to. First off, I'm gonna tell you basically a summary of the episode, and then we'll get into other bits of what I want to say. So Lister is basically starting off the episode by teaching Kryten about cheating, lying, and all-around rebellion. It initially seems to have effects on Kryten, but Kryten is unable to repeat the lie in the presence of others. After this, we see that he is trying this out on Rimmer, and we all know Rimmer, as he grows, he gets pretty annoying, and he's still quite that, the Rimmer we know from Series 1, the quite self-obsessed, perfection, the type of guy that Lister still kind of hates, and you can still see it in season 4. It's pretty evident, and I don't know, they sort of try to avoid each other. Anyway, so Rimmer decides to bring over Kryten to do some asteroid spotting with him. So one of his things he does, and we can definitely see that Kryten is sort of there, and he feels bad not coming on time because he feels he's a servant of Rimmer, and it shows their relationship. Anyway, Lister wants him to try out his sort of newfound rebellion on type of motives on Rimmer. Kryten ends up flying the ship over to a planet which is going to explode, and this is where the plot picks up, and we see that go on as they find an alien on board that ship, which we don't get to see for about 15 minutes. And this is sort of quite a popular thing to do in Red Dwarf, is where our plot is shown to us after our first good scene. We finally get the plot up and going, but it doesn't really develop until maybe the second portion of the episode. And yes, I could definitely see the way the act structured this. It was definitely probably a 3-part structure. We've got the beginning, which is obviously introducing us, the middle where the plot gets going and we see some of our problems, issues, and the third, which is where it sort of gets resolved in some way, and we can see stuff going from there. And it did develop this a little bit, as you can see from the picture. First I'm going to talk about the first scene, which is a pretty amazing scene, I must say. It was obviously Lister teaching Kryten about being a rebel, like sort of his sort of style of being, and teaching Kryten about some things. It's a funny scene because it's just written brilliantly, and almost Cat gets involved. Cat is brilliant in this episode as well. He's got some funny moments. And anyway, so they go out looking for this alien on board the ship. It's a pretty cool design, and yes, we see that go on. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but again, this is sort of the second act structure. It was my favourite scene, ignoring the first scene, which was probably one of my favourites. My other favourite scene was just any of the scenes involving them finding out about the alien. One of the major things we find out is that this alien is a Gelf type thing, which is an alien that they sort of already know about, which basically means that it is a pleasure Gelf, which means it appeals to the person what they want to see and kind of falls in love with them. And yeah, so they all find out what it looks like. Cat finds out it's himself. So yeah, it's quite a big reveal there, and it's funny. I mean, it's not as effective the second time you see it or anything, but I don't know, it was a unique concept, and it's still quite unique today. Brought up, and it does have a few, also in this episode we get a few science fiction references there, here and there, from Star Trek. We also get quite a big reference in the end, which I didn't get until I watched it the second time round. What else? Oh yeah, you know, Lister does bring some stuff from pop culture. It's good to have him there, because he's sort of the human one of them all, and he sort of, you know, knows the most, has the most, I would say, sense, in a earthly sense of TV, if that makes any sense, which means he knows the most about the world that we live in today. I know that Cat has actually got some great lines here, such as he jokes about the alien, his big scene, and one of the funniest jokes was him basically talking about the alien, and yeah, you know, he's pretty funny alongside Lister. You can definitely see a bit of a good friendly relationship between those two, which does go on for quite a number of seasons, and it's pretty evident since whatever, it sort of starts in season 3 or something. But they get pretty close now, you have to say since season 3, whatever. And their relationship sort of deepens, blossoms, and they have some great lines together, so that's good. Right. What else to say about this episode? Oh yeah, Camille is played, I think, by Robert Llewellyn's wife in real life. And yeah, she is she's quite a good actor, I think. She plays it quite well. She's, you know, kind of a really nice robot that is in love with Kryten, and it's very believable there, as they're in real life. Yeah, she's kind of funny at the same time, you know. She knows how to deliver those lines to make them have an impact. And also, the other actors who played Camille, you know, appealing to the other characters, were alright. They weren't great, but, you know, the main Camille actor was good. Yes, so I would definitely have that as a pro of the episode, that she was there, she was kind of pushing along the story, and yeah, she got on well with Kryten, which is fun. So, yeah, characters were a strong point in this episode. Not so much the story, which, yes, it was unique, but it was simple, and I like a lot of Red Dwarf episodes, but this one was sort of like, it does have a little bit of a disadvantage, knowing that it is kind of a reveal type episode. So once you've seen it one time, you may not want to watch it again. For instance, it does already, you know, first time you watch it, you find it fun. Second time, it may not be as powerful as it was the first time. So definitely, it sort of suffers from that whole thing there. But definitely, I would say revisit it, not just for some of the basically one of the scenes at the first scene, and maybe some of the other stuff you may not have catched, but definitely it does date it, since it does have a few references. Especially one of my cons would be the reference of Casablanca, which, if you watch the episode, the last 5 minutes are devoted to that, and I think it was kind of lazy writing in a way, because the whole send-off was to do with that episode. Yes, it is funny, but I don't think it really holds up on repeat viewings or whatever. I mean, it doesn't really date it, but it makes it a little lazier writing, I think. And so yes, for a season opener, it was I would be pretty impressed by it. I laughed quite a few times, and yes, it did have some pretty yeah, it did have some funny laugh out loud moments in it. I'm not saying that it was bad, but it wasn't like enthralling writing, and yeah, the whole reveal was a little weak, I must say. So overall, this episode, I'm gonna give it a I'll give it a B+ for effort, because yes, it had a lot of funny moments, and overall the story doesn't hold up that well, but it is is something we can all relate to, really, which is a good thing. And it's good to have Kryten and Kat have their standout moments, and you know they're getting their own moments, pretty much as equal as Rim or Lister. They all get like equal screen time, and that's good. And just some of the scenes are 5 out of 5, you know. So I think that this was a really nice episode, and it was a great way to start season 4. So yeah, this has been me talking about Red Dwarf. Some of the episodes I've just picked out. So I'll see you in the next Red Dwarf review, and hope you enjoy this. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, comment below, subscribe to keep up with my videos. Also make sure to leave a comment below on what you want to see next, and your opinions on this episode of Red Dwarf. Also other episodes of Red Dwarf you want to see, and if you enjoyed my review today. So thank you guys so much for listening to this, and see you next time.